世界のみんなとつながろう Bridges across world communities.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Bridges Across World Communities, sponsored by NIA, the Nishinomiya City International Association. My name is Thelma.
And I'm Floyd. Each month, we provide practical knowledge for daily living and important information about disaster prevention.
This program is for English-speaking residents in the Nishinomiya area and is broadcast on the second and fourth Saturdays of each month from 12 noon to 12:15.
This month, we'll be talking about Kansai Ben, the Kansai dialect.
Our disaster prevention segment is about heavy rainfall during the rainy season.
And we have the second half of our interview with Peter Chow, originally from the U.S.
提供は西宮市国際交流協会です。
Hello, Thelma. Well, it's now June, so welcome to rainy season in Japan.
Hello, Floyd. And yeah, Tsuya is here, and I can't stand all these cloudy and rainy days.
You know, I grew up in Vancouver, where it used to be like this almost all year round. I kind of like it.
Well, I'm almost happy for you. Shall we move on to this month's topic?
Yeah, sure. Do you know about Kansai Ben or the Kansai dialect?
Yeah, of course I do.
Okay, smarty pants, you can explain it then.
Well, Kansai Ben differs from standard Japanese in several ways. First of all, some of the vocabulary is different. For example, in Kansai Ben, you might say nambo instead of ikura, or for how much, or muzui instead of musukashi for difficult.
Yeah, that's interesting. You know, but the only Kansai Ben I know is okini. Instead of arigato, for thank you. And that's because I hear it all the time when I visit the Kyoto area. Now, besides vocabulary, are there any other differences with Kansai Ben?
Yes, there are many cases where the same word is used, but the intonation and verb endings are different.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Like onigiri is a good one, and in standard Japanese, the accent is on the ni, but in the Kansai Ben, the accent is on the gi. So instead of Japanese, you'd say onigiri, while in the Kansai Ben, you'd say onigiri.
Oh, that's almost like arigato. In standard Japanese, the accent's on the ri, but in Kansai Ben, the accent's on the to. So in standard Japanese, you'd say arigato. While in Kansai Ben, you'd say arigato.
Yeah,
right?
That's right. And congratulations. You're starting to speak Kansai Ben.
Oh, thank you. Anything else I need to know?
Yep. One more thing. Besides the differences in vocabulary, intonations, and verb endings, helper particles like te, ni, o, wa, ga, and e are sometimes shortened too.
That sounds kind of complicated. How about another example?
Okay, if you say, I have a toothache, so instead of Japanese say, you would say, ha ga itai, right? So while in Kansai Ben, you'd say, ha itai. So the last sound of some words lengthen, and instead of using the helper particle.
My Japanese is still very limited, so to me, it just seems like something more to learn. But because I live in Kansai, I'd like to know more about it. Now, is there any Kansai Ben you especially like?
Yeah, there are a lot, but a few of my favorites are mecha instead of totemo for very or a lot, chao instead of chigao for wrong or mistaken, and omoroi instead of omoshiroi for interesting or funny.
I've heard that Japanese public schools used to aggressively discourage the use of dialects, but in recent years there's been a growing appreciation for the differences.
Yeah, that's right. And this valuing of diversity is a way of thinking that's been spreading throughout Japan recently, right? And how about short quiz?
Okay.
I'll say a word in Kansai Ben and you guess what's in standard Japanese flight.
Okay, ganbarimasu. And our listeners can play along too.
Okay, let's start it.
Okay.
Maido.
Konnichiwa.
Okay, honma.
Honto?
Akan.
Dame.
Okay.
Dame.
Say ne.
So dane?
Hayo. Okay, good. Okay, hayo.
Hayaku.
Okay, chao.
Chigau.
Okay, nande ya ne?
Naze?
Okay, kamahen.
Kamawarai?
Good. Okay, chari.
Jitencha.
Very good. Okay, wow. You got all the right words, okay?
yeah.
I thought you didn't understand Kansai before.
I don't, but all the words are written here in the script.
Very funny. Okay.
Okay. I know a famous tongue twister that combines the Kansai Ben word chow, meaning wrong, with the name of a breed of dog called a chow chow. Ready?
Yeah, okay, by all means. Go ahead.
Ano ino, chow chow to chow, chow chow, chow chow to chow de.
That's brilliant.
Isn't it?
What does it mean in English?
Something like, isn't that dog a chow chow? No, it's not a chow chow.
Okay. Ending on that informative note, for those of you who want to learn more Kansai Ben, there are free apps and videos available online.
Yeah, just do a search for quiz, Japanese, Kansai Ben. Have fun.
Yep. Welcome to our second part. Let's welcome our guest, Mr. Peter Chow.
Hi.
Welcome.
Good to be back.
Yeah, I'm really excited to hear your experience about, first time come to Japan and then a lot of things compared in Missouri and Japan.
Yeah, I'm excited to share.
Especially the train thing.
Oh my God, the train.
What is happening with the train?
So, is it okay if I start?
Yeah, okay.
So, Missouri is known for not having any public transport really. In Missouri, it's mainly only cars. It's how you get around. So you drive everywhere. If you want to go to like the supermarket, you'll have to drive. Or if you want to walk, you're walking on the side of a highway for 30 minutes. So when I came to Japan, it was all trains. And I never rode a train before.
Wow.
Really?
So I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. So the first time I rode the train was when I got off the airplane and was at the airport. I had to figure out like the Suica card.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't understand how it worked. And so I bought one and I was at the gate and I was trying to tap it and I was like, it's not working. Why isn't it working? And the conductor was like, he was trying to explain to me in like broken English. He was like, no, you have to tap it on this. And I was like, I am tapping it. But I eventually got it. It was like, you tried tapping on the same one at like a different gate. And so it thinks you're trying to like scam the system. So I eventually got that fixed. But when I got out into the streets, out into the wild, into the city, I was very lost because I didn't know how to read any of the trains. And I tried using Google Maps, but Google Maps would tell me to take like the train that took me the opposite direction. And so I was like, I don't understand how this works.
So is that why you were so late for the interview today?
Sadly, yeah. Sadly, yeah.
Well, sometimes Google Map is funny, It causes you some kind of like, confused of the place.
So any other big changes or surprises since you've been here?
Another big change is how much Japanese people tend to like keep to themselves, I guess.
What does it mean?
I guess like with American people, they can be very direct and up in your business when you're out and about. In Japan, people just tend to keep to yourselves, so you don't have to like talk to other people if you don't want to.
Yeah.
In America, there's this concept called small talk, where you're in a taxi with some random person, and it's kind of like an obligation where you have to talk to them. Be like, so how's your day? How's the weather? In Japan, that doesn't exist, and it's kind of nice.
That's why you like to stay more here.
Yeah. Oh, and because the food here is really good and cheap.
It's cheap.
Compared to America.
Yeah,
compared to
really?
America.
Wow.
Now, I heard you mentioning something about scheduling meetings or scheduling getting together was kind of unusual here. What was that about?
So in America, with like at least with my friends, if we want to hang out or go grab some food, we'll usually text each other. We'll be like, "Oh, let's go grab some food sometime. Are you free tonight? Are you free like this week?" Usually it'll be like, "Oh, I am free," or "I'm not free, but do you want to do next week?" In Japan, it's entirely different. When I talk to some Japanese friends I've made, I'll ask them, "Do you want to go get some food? Do you want to go to karaoke?" And they'll be like, "Yeah, that sounds great. So how about 1 month in advance from now. And I first heard this and I was really confused because I was like, why does it have to be 1 month in advance? Like, don't you have time like sometime soon? And they'll be like, oh yeah, so 1 month from now.
Wow.
And so I that blows my mind still.
Yeah. Probably people are so busy and then they put on the schedule and like that.
Yeah.
Now, going back to Farmington, Missouri, I was looking on the map at Farmington, Missouri, and I see that Kansas City isn't far away. You know, the first thing I thought was tornadoes. Have you ever lived through a tornado or experienced one?
We've had an experience with a tornado almost touching Farmington. When I was in 3rd grade, there was a tornado it was about to touch. It never did touch, but you could see like the wind was going crazy, like all like the clouds were swirling, but it never touched. But we had like a few close calls.
Yeah, I mean, for me, that's a big fear. I mean, I've never experienced one. But I guess in Japan, you've got to deal with earthquakes and stuff, so we have similar.
Instead of hair.
Yeah.
So what's in your future? What are your plans?
In my future, in the near future, I know I want to graduate college. I am currently a junior in college, which means I am a 3rd year, which means next year I'll only have about 1 year left.
So are you going back to America the end of the summer? Is that the plan?
I'm going back to America on August 3rd, I believe.
Okay, and then what's your plans then?
So after I get back, my plan is to finish college, but also to buckle down on my studies, to find a job. The job I would like to get is as a Japanese translator.
In America? Or
that's still up in the air. I would like the idea of working as a translator because you have a flexibility to be able to work anywhere. You can assign your own like schedule for work and work how you want to work rather than a 9 to 5 where you have to wake up, you have to go drive to a big building and then work there and then come back and repeat it all over again. The idea of doing something I would at least not hate and something I can control is very appealing to me.
Nice.
And then maybe move to Japan, but that one's still up in the air.
So now, do you have anything to ask?
Yeah, it seems like you're really falling in love to stay in Japan, I think.
Yeah, the first few weeks it was kind of hard because there's like this air of like, I don't know anything about the culture here, or it's like the people are so different from Americans where they're so direct with you and so honest. With Japan, it's kind of like the opposite experience where it's like, you know, the culture is so different from America, and more so like if you can't really like communicate as well with people, it's just hard to communicate in general. But once you get past that, it's like the country is always so beautiful and there's always like great nature around wherever you go.
I think you need to go out drinking with some Japanese at night and see how open they really are.
I haven't done that yet. I think I should do that.
They're totally different. Anyway, really nice having you with us. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you. Good luck to you guys too.
防災情報です。
In Japan, when the seasons change from spring to summer, we have many rainy days. We call this time of year tsuyu, or rainy season.
In the Kansai area where we live, the tsuyu season usually starts around June 6th and ends around July 19th.
During this time, there's an increased risk of heavy rains that can cause landslides and flooding.
Here are some simple things to do before the rains start.
Yeah, carefully review both the Hyogo CG hazard map and the Nishinomiya Bosai disaster prevention map that the city distributed to each household this past April.
Check these maps for any nearby hazardous areas and also for the locations of your closest emergency shelters.
And of course, prepare emergency items for quick evacuation.
Here are some simple things to do after the rain starts.
Yeah, keep up to date with the latest information from reliable sources on TV, radio, or internet.
If you live in a low-lying, flood-prone areas, put sandbags around your house to prevent flooding.
And avoid any unnecessary outings. Let's make this a safe Tsuyu season, everyone.
For consultation services and other inquiries, please contact NIA at 0798-328680 or send an email to nia@nishi.or.jp. Our English-speaking staff will be happy to help.
今日は西宮市国際交流協会でした。
Have a great weekend, everyone!